So I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And yeah, this is a quick, article on some pretty important news. Basically, this is from ZeroHedge.com. As you can see, it was published August 21st, which is today. And it says here details about assassination of Russian world ideologue's daughter revealed. Now they're saying that this individual, the one whose daughter died, was in essence, as they call, like the brain of Putin. You know, um, so it says here the bomb that killed Daria uh, Dugina, or let me see actually how to pronounce that. Dugina, how do you do that? Pronunciation. I just need the pronunciation. Type, but
Dugina.
Oh, Dugina. Okay, so we'll just call her D. All right, cool. So Daria D. Was planted on the underside of the car. Investigators said. And they said that they're still looking through it to find out, the sources. They believe it might have been a contract deal, you know. But let's read a little bit into it, and this could definitely provoke things. Now, there was another article or breaking news notification that said that Ukraine is basically warning of a heightened, Russian, aggression ahead of the Ukrainian Independence Day as a result of this, of the death of the daughter of, um, this individual, right? Now, it's interesting how this war, this war is apparently still going, and the U.S. just now they've turned it into a thing where it's like, no, 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 forget one aid or second aid or third. They just loading up Ukraine with all these different weapons and these different military equipments and so on and so forth. And as they're doing that, they're these things that are happening. It's like whenever there's a quieting down of things start to cool down a bit. They need to stir things back up. Then something just happens. How interestingly enough, something that happens along the lines of stirring up, or one side or blaming one side for something so that this thing can keep on going, you know, which as they're using this as a cover, or an excuse to why why there's an energy shortage and these humanitarian crises and all of these things. I mean, of course they wouldn't want to let it die down. But how this plays into that, we're gonna have to watch and see. How is Russia gonna react? Who are they gonna come find and blame, and how is that gonna you know turn things around? We have to see. So it says here a blast that claimed the life of Daria D, the daughter of prominent Russian political philosopher um, Alexander, right? Alexander Dugin. It says here was caused by a bomb that had been attached to the underside of the driver's side of her SUV. Investigators said on Sunday. So this means that clearly it was an assassination. It was deliberate. While whether they wanted to go exactly for her or for him, I mean, I think more information on that will come out. But as it says, according to Russia's investigative committee, the explosive device ripped through the Toyota Land Cruiser she was driving in Moscow region near the village of Bolshy Vyazmy on Saturday night. It had been reported that the vehicle belonged to her father. So maybe they were trying to get her father. But then based on how things turned out, all right, it ended up being her. So it says here it has already been established that the explosive was planted under the bottom of the car on the driver's side. Duria, who was driving, was killed on impact, the agency said, reiterating that investigators believe the attack to have been premeditated and to be a contract job. So somebody, some nation, some country, somebody, you know, basically put a hit out on this guy. It says here, and I mean this, like I said, this could be a major provocation because what it reminds me of is the assassination of what's this guy's name? Um, Franz Ferdinand, the Archduke Franz Ferdinand. All right, you can look that up and read about that. So it says here the investigative committee said that its specialists are now inspecting the scene and that the vehicle was removed from the site for further examination. Expert assessments are being commissioned, including biological, genetic, chemical, and explosive forensics, the agency noted, adding that a recording from the SUV's dash cam had been retrieved, while law enforcement officials are working to identify suspects and possible witnesses. And then it goes in. Now it says here that like they let me just read it. It says earlier on Saturday evening, Dugan, the father of the victim, was giving a lecture on tradition and history at a family festival in Moscow, or in Moscow region. Dugina was in attendance at the event. Several reports say Dugan initially planned to leave the festival with his daughter, but later decided to take a separate car, while Daria took his Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. Interesting. So, I mean, they don't state the reasons why, but they do say here that he is known for his staunch anti-Western and neo-Eurasian views. All right, it says Western media has painted him as a driving force behind key aspects of President Vladimir Putin's foreign policy. So, yeah, like I said, this is something that just came out. We have to, keep watching and see how it's going to play out. What information are they going to find? Are they going to find the whoever is behind it? And, when and if they do, what is going to be the reaction? Because clearly this isn't something light. This isn't a light thing, So the details of it, I mean, we'll see. But as the scripture said, we have to watch as well as pray, because we know that we're in the times of, biblical prophecy. We're in the times of, the Lord preparing the minds of these kings to go to war, but he's doing it in a gradual process to where the prophetic timeline is in sync. You don't want to provoke these nations too much, and then here it is, they're ready to shoot missiles, and then the MOTB hasn't even come out yet. So there's an order in prophecy that has to remain. Okay, but these things are all a part of the building up, all right, to that destruction. Now this is Proverbs 21:1. It says the king's heart, which, when you go into the word heart in the Hebrew, it's lab. So heart does not mean their organ. It's talking about their mind. All right, the word lab in Hebrew means your mind. So it says the king's heart, or the king's mind, his thoughts, is in the hand, right, the power or the control of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So when the king's mind, meaning the rulers of the world, their minds are in the hand of the Lord, which is not just them, it's really everybody. But whatever the Most High wants you to think, whatever direction he wants you to go in, that's where you're going to go in. In essence, that's what Proverbs 21:1 is saying. Your thoughts are controlled by the Lord. All right. And so with this being said, like it says on life and conduct, that the scriptures say that man's goings are of the Lord. So what the Lord is doing is he's preparing, the minds of these different nations, the rulers of these different nations, to get into a warlike mentality, to get out of that lackadaisical spirit, especially Russia. That's why it says in Ezekiel 38 that the Lord is going to put hooks into the jaws of Gog and Magog, which that represents Russia today. And why is the Lord going to do that? To stir them up, because they are going to be a key player in this third world war. And they need to, the Lord is putting them in that mindset. Okay, because, it's not, everybody understands the consequences of a nuclear war. That's why they're trying so hard to avoid it. So it's not going to be that the Lord just has, they I don't know, they said something angering against Russia, and then Russia just says, all right, launch the nukes. No, because that's not something you don't just go and press the red button just because you got your feelings hurt or something. So by the time they feel the they feel the need to launch those missiles, there is going to be a clear, direct, a mindset that we are at war and we are going to do this. Okay, so that's why that's why ultimately the destruction is going to come at the end, because the steps needed to build up, to the point where Russia is in the right mindset, Turkey's in the right mindset, Iran, Israel, U.S., NATO, the EU, China, all these countries are in the right mindset. All right, getting into it, the Lord needs these different acts and decisions and turmoils and disagreements to take place, and then slowly build up. Now, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 10. And it says here, "Thus saith the Lord God, it shall come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind," right? Going into thoughts, "and thou shalt think an evil thought." And this is referring to Russia. Okay, so how are things going to come into their mind to think an evil thought? And what is that evil thought going to be? That evil thought is going to be to waste this land. All right, they're going to, of course, attack the land of Israel according to biblical prophecy, but they're also going to shoot missiles here in America. When you read Revelation 20 or Ezekiel 38, different other precepts, Israel is going to be a target of Russia. All right, and so is the U.S. So that evil thought is going to be that Isaiah the 13th chapter. All right, them not caring about the fruit of the womb, them not be regarding silver or gold. They're just going to be ready to bring some destruction. And those thoughts, as it says, at that same time shall things come into thy mind, right? As we read in Proverbs 21:1. So how, why, and where are these things going to come from? They're going to come from the Lord. These are going to be the Lord is using certain actions, all right, by certain nations to provoke. Now they want to label Russia a terrorist, state. So they're just pushing and pushing and pushing, and the Lord is really behind that, so that He can prepare the mind of Gog, and Magog to be ready, for the battle. And not just them. Here it is. They're having talks about this Iran nuclear deal, but eventually that's all gonna fail. It's not gonna avail, because Iran is not meant to have peace with the West. That's not according to prophecy. So regardless of what they try, it's not gonna work out at the end of the day. Anyway, I just wanted to bring this out. This is some interesting information here. So let's keep our eyes on the news. Let's keep watching and see what comes of this. As things are moving. We get into the end of the year, things are moving faster. They're pushing more and more this this MOTB. And basically these steps to fulfill these prophecies, these last few prophecies. So as the scriptures say, stay on your watch. Watch as well as pray. With that, Lord willing, you were edified. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodesh. Until next time, Shalom.